Hi, it's Alaska Granny. I'm spending some time in the Sonoran Desert, and down in this area they have a store called the 99-cent store. It used to be things cost 99.999 cents, so it was similar to the Dollar Tree, but in the last few years many of the items cost more. So that gives you a greater variety of items, but you have to watch more your pennies and your dollars when you're shopping because it does add up faster. So you want to pay attention to what the actual price is. I thought I would share with you the supplies I bought. I bought some food to add to my prepper pantry stockpile. I also bought a few supplies. You want to be thinking about all the categories of prepping when you're shopping. You want to have food, water, cleaners, hygiene supplies, first aid, tools, all kinds of different areas. Think about all of the areas when you're shopping, and if you have something you could add to one of those categories, a place like the 99-cent store or the Dollar Tree might be a good place to look to pick some of those things up. First, I bought a selection of dried fruits. These can last for several years as is. I was able to get each one of these packages for only 99 cents. So I bought 2 bags of figs, 2 bags of plums, 2 bags of apricots, 2 bags of pineapple, but I only bought 1 of cranberries because I have a lot of cranberries or dried craisins already in my stash. But these are really high quality fruits. I've tried them all before and they're very delicious. And the one that I do like a lot that I was able to find is pineapple, because this is something that has rotted out in cans that I've stored it before. I do have some that's freeze-dried from, say, August Farms, and I have dried some pineapple myself in my dehydrator, but these are very good and they're tasty too. So if you like dried fruit, it can be an option for you to have variety in your prepper pantry, and I was able to get it for 99 cents a package. So this to me was a great deal. A can of fruit, the last time I bought it was $1.98, I think, and these have more fruit in them than a can of fruit, and they were 99 cents. So I think these are a great deal. The 99-cent store can be a good place to pick up rice and beans. They did have a variety of them, but the only one that was 99 cents was split peas. All of the varieties of beans and rice were $1.99 or more. So this was still a good bargain to get a package of split peas. It's so easy to throw these in a crock pot and make a pot of split pea soup. In fact, I usually just make a half of a package simply because it makes so much soup and you get tired of eating it. So it's better to make the amount of food that you could use up in a reasonable amount of time, and then you have the rest of it you can make again at another time rather than it gets wasted because nobody can eat any more split pea soup or any kind of soup that you're making. The bag of split peas weighs 1 pound. It has 9 servings, and it has 12 grams of protein in each serving. So there's a lot of good food in this one little bag. When you want to store your rice and beans, they're going to last longer if you put them in an airtight container. I've been getting less picky lately about what containers that I've been saving up, simply because it's harder to get the 5-gallon buckets, and Mylar bags are becoming very expensive. You can pour them into a clean container that held food. Just look on the bottom to make sure that it says PET or PETE. These are sturdy containers. And so you can clean them out, dry them well, and you can use these to store smaller amounts. And these are containers that I've still been able to come by. So keep looking for different containers that are suitable to store your food so that you can continue to add to your stockpile a little at a time. A new milk that I saw was by Dairy Pure, and I hadn't seen this one ever before, but we bought one and tried it, and this is very top quality too. I usually find the Gosner Farms, and that's very good milk, and this one is also. So if you see this brand, don't be afraid to try it. I did, and it tastes just like regular milk, and it's handy to have for only $1 a carton to add to your shelf-stable milk. Honey is a forever food, and I found this jar of pure honey for only $1.99, and I kept looking over it, being suspicious what's really in it, and it even says it's pure honey, it's all natural, there's no artificial colors, no corn syrup, there's nothing else in it. no high fructose anything. It's just honey. Honey is a forever food, so this can go sealed in your pantry and it can last forever. So for $1.99, that's a great price to add to your longest lasting deep food storage stockpile. I don't usually drink coffee, but I keep coffee on hand when I have visitors who do. And one of these from the Cafe Moro, I believe I got this one at the Dollar Tree, and we opened it up. I store them in the freezer just for them to store longer, and everybody said, ooh, that's delicious coffee. Now that one's open, I need to replace it, so I found the Cafe Bustelo for $2.99. This is a lot bigger than the one I got at the Dollar Tree, which was 6 ounces for $1. This was 10 ounces for $2.99. So it wasn't as good of a deal, but I wasn't able to get this one again. So this one will be nice, and I'm going to store it in the freezer with the one that I sealed up to go back in the freezer for next time. If you're looking for bug out food, look for the tuna salad and chicken salad. It has a little container of the meat, and then it has some crackers. The can of tuna contains 190 calories and the crackers have 70 calories. The chicken salad has 120 calories in the can and 70 in the crackers. So these are nice grab and go, and the expiration date on them isn't until the end of 2023. So these have nearly 2 years of shelf life on them. The little cans might last longer than the crackers because crackers do tend to get stale. So it's a nice way to have grab and go food. It has a little can of meat, it has some sealed crackers, and it even includes a little spoon. So you could drop this in your bug out bag, even your get home bag, and you could have something to eat. Then these would be easy to rotate out every 6 months or a year so that you're updating your bug out bag and making sure that things are fresh and ready to go. I like to have a few cans of spaghetti sauce in my stockpile, and these were only 99 cents. I haven't ever seen the zesty and spicy before. The way I like to use these a lot of times is as soup starters, or I add other things to them for sauces, because as sauce they may not be the best you ever had, but they're certainly adequate if that's all that you have. Something I did notice is they didn't have any of the Alfredo sauce, which is the white sauce, which I like to stockpile as well. So if you've tried the zesty and spicy, maybe leave us a comment and let us know what you think. I have family members who love ham, so I was able to pick up 2 of the Bristol Hams for $2.99. This is a great way to have meat in your pantry for many years. These can last a long, long time, and if you enjoy eating ham, you might look for those. A bit of the ham would also be delicious added into your split pea soup. Here was a great find, 4 cans of the Nestle Crema, which is canned cream or half and half. And these even have 20% more for free. And these were $1.29. I used to buy these at the Dollar Tree when they were $1, and I haven't seen them in ages. And recently I have been looking for them because I have had to rotate out nearly all of the ones that I had in my stockpile. And when I use things up, I want to replace them. And the ones I had were like 2 years past the date, still perfectly delicious. In fact, I made a box of the Hungry Jack scallop potatoes, which are just yummy. And instead of using milk and butter, I added the can of Crema. And it was absolutely delicious. I added the water, I stirred in the can of Crema, and stirred in the package and just cooked it as usual, and they were absolutely delicious. So don't be afraid to use these when you need milk and butter in a recipe, because this is basically what that is. Milk and butter. They take the cream off and make it into butter, and so you already have it already in here if you need it for cooking. I made a video about different ways to use Crema, and I'll put a link to that video so you can see more about it if you want to add some to your stockpile. Besides food, I picked up some prepping supplies. They had 18 packs of batteries for $2.49, so I picked up some AA and some AAA. It's always a good time to be adding to your battery stockpile because we have a lot of battery operated gear as preppers. So stock up. Make sure that you have a nice supply of the battery size that you commonly use, and then rotate through them in your gear to make sure that you have fresh batteries with the supplies that use them. So for only $10, I was able to get 36 of each size of the AA and the AAA batteries. So I thought that was a great deal for $10 for all of these. You don't have to have roaches to use a roach prison. These are little sticky traps that bugs crawl into and they get stuck. I've used these around in my place in the desert because there are all kinds of bugs around here, and I also like to stick them in the pantry. Should end up with pantry bugs, they start climbing around, and if they should get on your shelf, they can go from one package into another. If some of them crawl into here, they're going to get trapped, and if nothing else, it notifies you that you have some bugs around. There's always going to be bugs in the world, and so it's just something that we need to be aware of and try to keep from infesting into the things that we have. Let me show you some of the traps that I've had around my house. I put some by my water heater. I put some in my closet where some of my longest term food is. And look at all the little things that are in here. Now, wouldn't you rather catch any of those little bugs and not have them crawling around into your things? So I've never actually found bugs crawling around, but I know that they are because these traps are getting them. And they're sticky on all the sides, so if one side gets full, turn it over and they stick on the other side too. You can pick these up 2 for $1 and they're definitely worth it, and they just keep working until they're full. It's not like they lose their stickiness, so I just rotate them around, move them around, put them anywhere that I think there might be bugs. And the crazy things I found in the garage have really been eye-opening. The last thing I picked up was a bottle of Lysol because this is a concentrate and you can make 5 gallons of cleaner with just this little bottle. That shows you how much of the cleaning supplies that we're storing are water, which takes up a lot of space. So I'd rather store this and 5 gallons of water than if I don't need this, I still have 5 gallons of drinking water rather than just 5 gallons of cleaner. Then I just wanted to give you a review about these bottles that I bought for my grandchildren when they came to visit me. I bought these at the Dollar Tree. And you know how when you go camping and you hand wash everything and it's camp clean and it's good enough. But occasionally we like to stick things all into the dishwasher and get them all nice and clean. So I wasn't really thinking about maybe these shouldn't ever go in the dishwasher, but I wanted to keep them sanitary for my little kids. My little grandchildren are only 3 and 1, so they need clean things to drink from because who knows what they get into. Maybe you can see after I put these in the dishwasher, they're not flat anymore and they have a rocking bottom, which little kids spill enough as is, so yeah. So if you're going to pick up some of these, they're handy to give kids a little drink, but they shouldn't go in the dishwasher, and lesson learned. These are the items that I bought at the 99-cent store to keep adding to my prepper pantry and my prepping supplies stockpile. So make sure that you continue a little at a time. Pick up things when you see them. Replace things that you use out of your stockpile. Things are still available. Prices are going up in many places, but it's still available. It's still time that you can be prepping. Never think that it's too late to be a prepper, because as long as there's something in the store and you have a little bit of money left over, you can add to your stockpile. Do it now, because we don't really know what's coming, and we can look on the news and see that there are hardships in many places in the world, and we don't want to have those hardships come into our home if we can prevent it. Know that you're doing the best that you can, and you're going to make the best of every single situation and day that comes your way. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.